Welcome. Don't adjust your dial. Welcome everyone to the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. I'm your host, Michael Pickering. That's right. Lo-Fi's and low fidelity, low quality, in your face, messy as can be global news show. Here we're going to talk about that famous question, what's going on in the world today? I hope everyone's ready. It's Messy Monday. It's that weekend recap with 10 fast-paced headlines from across the globe, and then a piece of humanity to send you on your way for the week. Straight to that news, fresh off the press. The following 4 stories all come from Reuters World News. We begin with 2 connected election stories from Switzerland. The first, Swiss voters clearly reject curb on EU immigration. The second, Swiss voters approve 6.5 billion purchase of fighter jets. So lots going down in Switzerland this weekend. There was a motion to try to stop the EU free travel agreement, which failed, with 62% saying, you know what, we like people. As we all should. And then a far narrower vote, 50.2% of the always neutral country of Switzerland decided, you know what, we like fighter jets. Let's get some new ones. A question to you, Lo-Fi Nation. Why does Switzerland want new fighter jets? Write in, give me your thoughts. Now to Mexico we move. Mexico issues arrest warrants on 6th anniversary of disappearance of 43 college students. It's been 6 years since this began. 6 very long years. This summer, the leader of the cartel believed responsible was arrested. And now, arrest warrants for military, municipal, and federal police officers have all been issued in connection to this tragedy. We'll keep you updated as we find out more for sure, Lo-Fi listener. This story will develop a lot over the week, I'm sure. Now, moving forward because we never move on from anything, off to Yemen for an update on the conflict there. Yemen's warring parties agreed to their largest prisoner swap as UN seeks ceasefire. This is big news indeed. The two sides of the civil war in Yemen have come to an accord to exchange 1,081 prisoners. Think of that for a moment, Lo-Fi Nation. Over 1,000 people, prisoners of war, are about to be freed. Good luck to the UN Special Envoy to Yemen. May all involved find a way to end this war. It's time. Let's move forward, not back. Our following 3 stories all come from the AP News International. To the African country of Mali, we move for a review of events with the recent military coup. The story, Mali Transitional Government appoints new Prime Minister. So major developments here as well. The military overthrew the government. ECOWAS, a West African regional economic group, put sanctions on the country for it. In order for the sanctions to be lifted, a civilian president and civilian prime minister had to be named to return power to the people in this transitional government and get ready for new elections in 18 months. Both of those now have been done, and sanction relief should come this week. We'll be keeping an eye on this situation all throughout that 18 months and let you know what's going on. Good luck, Mali. We're watching. Next up, to Belarus for our weekly update on the anti-Lukashenko movement there. The headline, 100,000 march in Belarus capital on 50th day of protest. Knock knock? President Lukashenko? There's 100,000 people outside waiting for you to leave? But apparently his hearing isn't that great. But 50 days straight of mass protest. Lo-Fi Poli Sci's message to you out there? You keep going, and we'll keep talking about you. Ain't no way Lo-Fi Nation's forgetting about this. Now we travel to Thailand for recent actions taken by the Thai government against big tech. Thailand sues Facebook, Twitter for allowing banned material. We talked about this court ruling a few weeks ago. The 2 tech giants had to remove content that the government deemed inappropriate. They didn't, or at least not all of it, and now they're getting sued. So many questions here. Most of them lead to the same place. We'll keep you updated as we hear more, my friends. And to our last 4 stories of the day, all coming from the BBC Europe, Middle East, Latin America, and Australia sections. We begin with recent outbreak of conflict between 2 countries in an almost 3-decade dispute. Armenia and Azerbaijan fight over disputed Nagorno-Karabakh. This conflict goes back to the days of the ending of the Soviet Union, and these countries splitting off to become independent countries in the early 1990s. The magnitude of the story is still being understood, because all we have are conflicting accounts from each country. But we'll be watching this story closely as well throughout the week. Now we travel to Lebanon for weekend developments, or the lack thereof. Lebanon's PM-designate, Adib, fails to form new government after blast. Alright, so the quick version, because I know you gotta go, but we still have so much to talk about in the world. Everyone knows about the blast in Beirut. The government resigned shortly after due to public outrage. On August 31, the prime minister the headline refers to was appointed with the job of forming a new government. He failed, and he just quit that position of prime minister in less than a month. This week, a lot will be going on in Lebanon. We'll keep an eye on it for you for sure, listeners. Moving forward in the world to South America and Colombia for our next story. And I know, second to last one, but wait just a second for this one. The story, Pablo Escobar, money hidden in wall found in drug lord's house. How much, right? How much of the old cartel leader Pablo Escobar's money was found, and by whom, where, and how? I got you covered. $18 million in Medellin, Colombia, and a wall of one of his former homes by one of his nephews who had a vision of where to look. And yes, I said visions. Oh, I'm not going to spoil any more of this one for you. If you're interested, check it out, because I know you gotta go. So a last piece of news and an update and conclusion to the almost 2-week journey we've been following and the stranded whales in Tasmania. The headline, Tasmania pilot whales, rescuers release 108 surviving animals. We've talked about the tragedy before, but today we talk about the goodness of this story. The fact that people came together and saved 108 of these beautiful creatures is pretty amazing. Thank you, people of Tasmania, for helping our whale cousins out this past week. You did great deeds indeed out there. And that's a brief snapshot of what's going on in the world today. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode of Tuesday's Top 10. Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Write in with questions or comments to lofipolisci@planetmail.com. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Wash those hands. And I'll see you on the next episode of the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. Pickering, signing off. A word to you, Lo-Fi listener, wherever you are in the world. Chin up. Mondays are always messy. There's always this or that for which we have to get through before we can even get to that first fresh cup of coffee. Or tea. Don't hold back today. Hit this messy Monday hard like. Make your presence felt and your voice heard. We all want to hear your words. These aren't words of inspiration. These are free words. They're your words. I'm just that voice in the void telling them to you.